Well, it appears we're going to start the new year talking about fraud. You've got independent journalists all over the country now uncovering fraud and knocking on doors. The Somali fraud case in Minnesota has opened the floodgates, I'm telling you, of billions of dollars in fraud and how U.S. taxpayers have been ripped off for years now. We've got a lot to uncover on this episode, so buckle up. Now, we've got a couple stories to cover today, and the first one's about a man that defrauded a COVID-19 era program in Minnesota for over $1 million. Now, the program was meant to feed school children, and it was called Feeding Our Future. Now, what this guy would do was he would submit meal claims to the government, and the government would pay him per meal claim. Well, he was claiming that he was feeding children, but he was just submitting these claims and getting taxpayer money deposited into his account. And it's kind of pathetic because he got a slap on the wrist and he's doing the same thing now through a different program. So I'm getting ready to play you a clip here of this, and it's kind of crazy that this stuff is still happening and has happened in the past, and really nothing was done about it during the Biden administration, and it's kind of pathetic. Let's check it out.
Times its size. But this assisted living facility puts this all in perspective. It's owned by a man indicted for laundering $1 million in the Feeding Our Future scam. He's Gandhi Mohammed, now Gandhi Abdi Kadai, and his LLC owns the homes. His wife runs the assisted living facilities, and the state is continuing to pay as he awaits his trial. Okay. We went to each of them.
We're curious because the man who owns this building was indicted in the Feeding Our Future scandal. Did you know that?
No.
Don't know that?
No. You think what?
Do you know the Feeding Our Future scandal? The scam that was, there's all these indictments related to false, billing on feeding children.
No, that's not true.
That it's not true?
It's not true. The way I know that, no.
These assisted living facilities received over $2.3 million in state money last year alone. A Minnesota Reformer article says he has been paid a whopping $49 million since 2016.
Pretty crazy, huh? $49 million there at the end. It's insane. I'm going to read you this straight from Wikipedia about Feeding Our Future. So, Feeding Our Future was a Minnesota nonprofit founded in 2016 during the COVID-19 pandemic. It claimed to distribute many thousands of meals to school children, but instead stole hundreds of millions of dollars while providing few or no meals at most to its locations. Although the state agency responsible for monitoring the school meal program repeatedly tried to cut it off funds, the organization was not shut down until FBI raids and federal indictments in 2022. Well, who ran the government in 2022? As of late 2025, out of 78 suspects indicted in the fraud, more than 50 had pled guilty. As most perpetrators, excluding Block, the founder of the program, were Somali Americans, the scandal resulted in increased political pressure to the community. So something like 89% of the fraudsters during the Feeding Our Future program were Somali Americans. And now here we are going over the child care scandals that's gone viral, and it's the same community doing the same thing that just got a slap on the wrist a few years ago for defrauding the government. So it's kind of crazy, and hopefully we'll get some accountability and some arrests finally, because something needs to happen. I mean, these people have come over here and just taken total advantage. I mean, it's what they've done. It's plain and simple. But now we're going to turn to a video of an independent citizen journalist. His name is Cam Higbee, and he was in Washington State recently knocking on doors, and he's supposed to show up to a daycare, and it was a house. I mean, it's pathetic, and these people are not even trying to hide the fraud and corruption. But let's check it out.
Lowly Safia Child Care Center in Kent, Washington. They have received $863,000 since 2023. I don't see any signs right off the bat that it's a child care facility. There's no car seats, there's no children's toys, nothing like that. So we're gonna go in and we're gonna check it out. Hi, is this Halali childcare? No. No? There's no childcare here? Okay, God, thank you so much. Have a good one. There's no childcare. All right, guys, we were just at Halauli, what's allegedly Halauli Child Care Center in Kent, Washington, which is right behind me right here. We went up to the door, the exact address listed on the state website, receiving over $800,000 in 2023. They claim there's no child care here.
A couple $100,000 for the cars.
I went and tried to ask the neighbors if there was daycare there. Nobody answered, but I could see the people who lived in that house peeling the curtains back, because just like all of the other places, all the curtains were drawn, you couldn't see in or anything. They're peeling the curtains back and watching me as I walk around to the neighbors' houses, and they're scrambling and yelling, and I can hear them. What's up with that? Pretty weird. So I'm out of the field now. I'm back at the house, and I'm looking at this Halauli Safia children's daycare on their government webpage. And their licensed capacity is 9, just like the other place. And their total available slots, meaning the total amount of children they can take on, is 6. Meaning this daycare is only serving 3 children. I mean, I think it's likely they're not serving any children, considering they told me they're not a daycare. But at most, there could be 3 children being served by this place, and they're raking in $800,000 since 2023. I've now pulled up one of their inspection reports for Halauli. And what you see is, again, short-term, long-term, serious and immediate risks. The government defines serious and immediate risks as risks that pose serious risk of injury, illness, or even death for children that attend these daycares. And this is the most recent inspection report with no indication that it's been corrected or fixed. And they're still raking in hundreds of thousands of dollars. I don't even understand how this is possible. A normal inspection report for one of these daycares is like 2 pages long. But look at this. It just goes on and on and on with short-term, long-term, serious, and immediate risks. On and on. I mean, I don't even know how far, we're not even halfway. You can see the scroll wheel on the side. This is how long this report is. It should be only 2 pages. Look at this. I mean, we have to be 20 pages deep at this point. So that inspection that I just showed you, the horrendously failed inspection, was in February of 2025. But if we come over here to their funding, like, check this out. February 2025, they received $32,840. In March, another $32,688. In April of 2025, $32,688. And again, like, there's no indication that these issues were fixed. This is 207 is the most recent inspection that's occurred for this place.
Yeah, so it's just insane, right? Over $800,000 has been paid to whoever lives in that house for a daycare that they have. They're supposed to be watching kids. And like Cam said, there's maybe 3 kids in the house, but it's probably their kids, and they've got enrolled in the daycare that they own. So the government's paying them to essentially raise their own kids. I mean, it's just insane. They had 2 Teslas in the driveway, an Escalade or a Tahoe or whatever that was. I mean, $100,000 worth of cars at least sitting in the driveway, and we've got homeless veterans on the street. Meanwhile, Somalis are taking advantage of people that go to work every day and pay taxes. I mean, it's insane. And that was in Washington State. There'll be more to come from Washington State, I'm sure. There'll be more to come in California, and there'll be plenty more to come in Minnesota, that's for sure. So, but on this New Year's Eve, we've only have scratched the surface, is what it appears, on the level of fraud that's taking place in this country. And over the next few days and a few weeks and few months, we're going to find even more. And what we're going to find is going to be even more disturbing, I've got a feeling. The only thing we can pray for is that we'll get some arrests and have some accountability, because we can't tolerate people that still at this level and that are just malevolent and evil like these people are, because that's what it is. I mean, it's like you packing up your family and going to England and then not working a day in your life and then just robbing from the English taxpayers, or going somewhere that can give you everything. Like, I mean, I don't think there's not a country like the United States that allows people to come in and to start a business, and then these people just take it a step further and take advantage of the opportunities that this country provides. So I hope they go underneath the prison. I think that's where they belong. And if we don't send them to a prison in the country, we need to send them back to their country, because this cannot be tolerated anymore. We're almost $40 trillion in debt, and several trillion dollars of our debt can probably be contributed to the fraud and the level of scams that are out there that these people commit every day. So stay tuned. I hope everybody has a good new year. We'll see you later.